Hello, and no, not good morning. It's good afternoon now. Um, Going to my YouTube analytics. Um, I seem to have a very popular, um, you know, air quotes around that, video, the book review. I thought that, what was this from? I thought that, my, poetry would do better. But if you guys want to hear some more of that, then just drop a comment. I was filming a video last night, but I decided to scrap it because my talking voice wasn't very good. Um, and I just tuned in for a writing sprint, one that Seth Ring did. That was really enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. I did writing sprints on Young Writers Workshop, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not a part of that group anymore, unfortunately. But it's a lot of fun to be able to do writing sprints with other people. Um, so today we are going to do a book review because that seems to have done the best, and we're going to do a book review about the book I am currently writing. Um, how to start this off? Um, it's a lit RPG. That's first of all genre. Progression more than lit RPG, honestly, because the system is broken. I've seen other people do that before in some um, books where the system isn't working right. I find those I don't really like it, honestly. It's weird because I like to do things I don't like. I see people do and I don't like how they did it. But it's a cool concept. I've seen people go like, well, what if there's this NPC and they're the main character, but they can't really level up, and so they're fighting against people who can. I tried to write one of those. It's boring to read, but I tried nonetheless. So, in this book, if we go back to the history, I don't really have a creation of the world yet. I haven't really decided on that. But there's this king, and I want him. I think he's the creator of the universe that this takes place in, and he gives people powers, and that's how the system is he sets up the system, and it's all focused through this giant gym that he has that grants people powers, and he's the owner of it. Not I shouldn't put air quotes around that. I don't know if you guys saw that. Now you can see finger movements probably. Let's move it down. So he has this gym. It gives everybody. It's like the source of everybody's powers essentially. Um, and then some of his servants become covetous of his power, and so they decide to you guys want to see hand movement more to illustrate the speaking. um they end up killing him and destroying the crystal and then scattering. And then a little bit of time passes. These people are essentially immortal. Even the servants who don't have the crystal, um, the pieces of the crystal, because it's shattered into pieces. And these people who have the crystal set themselves up as gods. And then the people who remain faithful, who remained and didn't betray the king, start sowing discourse among the people who betrayed him, because they're trying to get their revenge. And slowly, one by one, the gods dwindle down until there's only a handful, and then they put themselves into sleep so that they don't die off. Um, and But now without them active to kind of keep the system alive, the system's almost dead. There's only a few people who have powers from it, and that's very simple, basic stuff. But it's very rare. Um, then the story picks up with a goblin pup. That's a little child. He's going to be about 11, 12 years old, and he is captured. He and his village are captured by the orcs, and then there's the journey from the barrows they were living in over to the more orcish side of the mountain ranges, and from there, I want it to be I want there to be some intrigue, some political intrigue between uh, the chief. These are a bunch of tribes. They used to be a giant kingdom. Now they broke apart into tribes. Between the chief of this one tribe, maybe a couple other tribes. I should actually explore that. I haven't thought about that at all. I'm glad I'm speaking right now. Even if nobody watches this, because now I've put some ideas for myself. Some intrigue between these tribes, and then between some new age gods who they're like demigods because they don't actually have the shards. Um these new age gods who are trying to claim shards for themselves so that they can become gods. And then after that, there's going to be about um the concluding of book one is going to be this important character who's essentially having to babysit the chief's nephew. And then the chief's nephew leaves the fort he's supposed to be guarding and maintaining and goes down and attacks the humans, and that's going to be concluding of book one. And there's going to be I have some betrayals set up in mind, and that's gonna be the end of book one. Then book two is gonna pick up off the consequences of those betrayals, and the chief's son being reckless and stuff like that. Um, Now the problem is, like I said, I don't have it with me right now. I should have brought it. But in my book review, I talked about Thrice and how it was a good idea, but it was poorly executed. And so the problem is I have this good idea, but now the problem is executing it effectively. And that's pretty much the struggle for all writing. That's why we have editing, thankfully. You throw down as much stuff as you can onto your paper, and then you go, I don't like 90% of this crap. I'm going to make it better. Um, and the people who actually do end up making it better, those guys are amazing. And kudos to the Andrew D. Meredith, who he finished Thrice. I personally believe it could use more editing, but that's impressive. He has the most I've ever done in one project is like 100,000 words. That book's like 90,000 or up, and he has more of them. It's like a 4-part series, 3-part series. So that's about sorry, cough. 360 words down. I have maybe half a million, and that's just one of his series. He has another one. I stopped keeping track of words. The words I wrote. After you have a a doc that's 30,000 words long in poetry, and then you have a couple projects and a couple side projects, just it stops mattering. Um, for the main projects, though, it does matter importantly because an interesting phenomenon I noticed, at least with myself, is once you get around 20,000 words, that was my first, I'm going to call it breaking point, where you're no longer like, I don't really know what to do with this. Now you're like, this is my baby story and I'm going to cradle it and keep it safe. And then you have to let it grow up and let it face the brutal world. And right now I have 14,000 in my Born Beneath the Earth, but a couple thousand of that is poetry that I have that I want to have integrated into this world, um, because I think that's a cool idea of having the story. In the beginning of each chapter, there's like a poem or something like that, or an excerpt from some philosopher or some person who is influential in the development of this world. Um, and so some of the stuff I don't know whether I'll be able to integrate it, but you know, it is what it is. Chapter one. I don't know why it sent me back there, not where I was. So that's really my book review for my own book. If you want me to read some of the poetry from this world, drop a comment, or if you want me to read poetry from my poetry doc, drop another comment. Maybe I'll do both. And thank you for your time. God bless.